Just love it when Mother Russia provides for you. That was Skog, by the way. I will link the video he sent me in the description. Please consider subscribing to him. Now, the topic of today's video is going to be one focused on two different things, kind of in one place. Yeah, it's going to be about women's place in academia, which sounds bad right off the bat, but also the intellectual dishonesty of journalists. Now, to put my own little disclaimer on it, which I've done a few times this year already, I get that sometimes you have to be a bit clever with the title to get people interested in reading what you have written for something that is ordinarily quite dull. However, with this particular title, yeah, so let's just dive right into it. Oxford University exam times were increased in a bid to improve the low scores of women. It has emerged, which, let's face it, is quite a shocker. Which subject are they struggling in? Is it home economics? Is it cooking? Is it English literature, perhaps? No, it's something far more serious and raises many questions, some of which regularly feature in Prime Minister's Questions, which I have talked about recently on a stream on my second channel, the Cthulhu-Kin and Friends show. I'm going to link that as well below. Students taking maths and computer science examinations in the summer of 2017 were given an extra 15 minutes. Come on now. We're already a sentence in and we've realised, hang on, this doesn't quite stack up to how it's been initially interpreted. After Dons ruled that female candidates might be more likely to be adversely affected by time pressure, there was no change to the length or difficulty of the questions, which to me screams of one glaring, obvious problem. In an exam situation, 15 minutes doesn't actually feel like much. And as someone that has done many exams before, I can promise you no amount of additional time is going to help me remember what has suddenly vanished from my head when I have been cramming for weeks. If, like me, you spend a lot of time, an inordinate amount of time revising, only for it to then vanish from your brain the moment you sit down and the paper is in front of you. Try as you might, it's not going to come back. Time constraints are one issue, but there are many others that may be mitigating factors in the reason as to why some girls, struggle to attain higher grades compared to their male counterparts or peers. And before we continue, I just want to touch upon another little thing that's obvious we should also talk about. Say you are giving people extra time. What you're doing is showing that they are less capable of solving a problem within a set time or under pressure. That makes them less of a commodity or less desirable to some employers that may find problem solving advantageous or desirable. Oh, and to quickly give my 2 cents on the title of the article, it was so misleading I thought you were trying to portray women as being born disabled. You know, like they're born dyslexic. That's how it came across to me anyway. Let's continue. We're only on the first page anyway. It was the first time such steps have been taken. In previous years, the percentage of male students awarded first-class degrees was double that of women. So, that's not an indicator that less women are doing as well. It's just an indicator that less women are there in the final year. The numbers aren't that high to begin with. And in 2016, the Board of Examiners suggested that the department make changes to improve women's grades. They could just fudge them. I mean, people are already, in many areas of employment, lowering the bar for women anyway, whether it be physical tests with law enforcement, fire departments, so that they don't get discrimination lawsuits mostly, although we really need that in the UK, because we need to pander just a little bit harder so we don't have to pay out money to people who aren't capable of running with a dog. However, despite the intention being to lessen gender discrepancies, the main effect of the time increase appears to have been an increase in the number of 2-1s overall, with 2 figures falling. Men continue to be awarded more first-class degrees than women in the 2 subjects. That is not a surprise, because apparently all women are dyslexic. Oh dear. Ooh, interesting to know, and we're going to get to it. My old uni's on here. Oh yes, my not-so-safe free speech haven is right there. A university spokesman defended the changes as academically demanding and fair and noted that while 39% of female mathematicians achieved first-class degrees compared to 47% of men, women's scores had improved year on year. Well, maybe that's because they're adapting, learning, or maybe this new crop are trying harder, being encouraged at a younger age. Maybe some of those changes in the system are working that you and some of the politicians love to champion. I do want to quickly look at this top 10 universities for first-class degrees. You've got London, Surrey, my old county. I grew up in Surrey. Another one of London's, Dundee. I thought that was in Australia. University of East Anglia, UEA, yes. Go Pirates. The rest of you suck dick. We beat Cambridge. Get fucked. Everyone talks about Cambridge and Oxford. They are beneath me. The lengthening of exams was welcomed by some female students. That's interesting. Some. It's possible that some saw it as a pandering technique, but also some might have just been offended. Like they try as hard as the guys, and making them feel like they're, well, special needs. Antonia Sue, undergraduate representative of Oxford Women in Computer Science, said, "I am uneasy about schemes to favour one gender over another. As we've ascertained, the reasoning is because of that, but it affects everyone. Everyone gets extra time. You are not being put with the special needs people who go into a separate room and get additional time. But I am happy when people see gaps between groups of people who should not reasonably have such gaps. The way people's brains work really do actually make quite obvious differences. That's why guys do better in this subject, Jen. Such as gaps between gender, races, or class, and take that as a starting point to think about the kinds of people they unintentionally are leaving behind. This is why, and I think I saw a tweet about this, a really good one, and I might see if I can find it and pull it up. There was an article linked that said science should be a feminist institution. I will possibly address this in a video, but the tweet that accompanied it, hell no, science cannot be adjectivized. Demographic descriptors have no place in describing science. Scientific research is identified by what is being investigated, not who is doing the investigating. That is 100% applicable here. It really shouldn't matter. It is so important to get people interested in science. It is less important what gender, race, sexuality, and whatever other descriptors you can think of that the person is. I think I've said this before in a few videos. It is really irrelevant. Oh, and I want to look at the world university rankings. Why are Oxford and Cambridge above me? University of East Anglia beat you. First class honours degrees, bitch. Oh, you got Caltech, right. Massachusetts, Harvard, Princeton, no one cares. Chicago, is that a university? I thought that was just a ghetto where black people went to shoot each other. UEA beat you both, Oxford and Cambridge. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your race sucks. That boat thing you do, honestly, it's gay. Anyway, I think I'm done here. To the Telegraph, I have one message. Your article is misleading, the title especially, clickbaity as, well, it's quite a number of YouTube videos really. It is, though, as stated earlier, an intellectually dishonest thing to do. Yes, there is an obvious difference in science when it comes to men and women, and how well they do under pressure, but simply trying to remove the pressure, and now I'm switching to the academic people, by giving more time, doesn't necessarily help girls at all. As I've stated from my own personal experience, if the information just vanishes from your head, it vanishes from your head. No additional time will bring that back, but also you're making it seem like they are less capable, and because of the reasons you've stated, you are making it quite clear they are less capable, but with more time they might get there. That doesn't mean they're worth anything, it means that they are special. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you all have a lovely day.
Okay, so, Skog, can you tell us where this person is?
They are just about 200 metres west of Discanar's house.
He's near me.
Bastard.
Sweet. I'm on my way. You ready for this, Dally? Let's fuck him up. I haven't got a bow, so it's going to have to be a spiked club.
Ooh. I want to watch.
Let me get onto my roof. I want to watch this.
Thanks, man. I'll take your shit as well.
Oh, mistake.
I've accepted this thing as well, so he can't kill me back. He's gonna come over.
What you need to do is beat him to death with shovel next time.
Okay, turns out my shovel does 19 damage to people.
Oh my god!
What a time to have been alive.